With rising global tensions and the ever-present threat of nuclear conflict, many people are beginning to consider the unthinkable, where they could find safety in the event of a nuclear war. In an age where the possibility of such a catastrophic event looms over us, identifying the safest places in the U.S. has become a topic of serious discussion. While no location is completely immune to the devastation of a nuclear attack, certain areas offer better chances of survival due to their geographic features, distance from primary targets, and potential for long-term sustainability. This video explores those places in detail. Understanding the threat. What happens during a nuclear war? A nuclear war is a nightmare scenario with devastating immediate and long-term consequences. When a nuclear bomb detonates, it unleashes an enormous amount of energy, resulting in a powerful blast wave, intense heat, and a lethal dose of radiation. The initial blast can obliterate everything within a several-mile radius, with the intense heat igniting fires and causing severe burns to anyone in proximity. Beyond the immediate destruction, the aftermath brings another layer of danger: radioactive fallout. This fallout consists of radioactive particles that are carried into the atmosphere and can travel vast distances, eventually settling back to Earth and contaminating everything it touches. Areas downwind of the explosion site are particularly vulnerable to this fallout, making them highly dangerous. Additionally, the electromagnetic pulse, generated by a nuclear explosion, can disable electronic devices and infrastructure over a wide area, crippling communications and making survival even more challenging. The combination of these factors, blast, heat, radiation, and EMP, means that densely populated areas and regions near military installations or critical infrastructure are at the highest risk. Understanding these threats is crucial in determining which locations in the U.S. offer the best chances of surviving such a catastrophic event. Criteria for selecting safe locations. When considering the safest places to survive a nuclear war in the U.S., several key factors come into play. Distance from major cities and military installations is one of the most critical criteria. These areas are prime targets in any nuclear conflict due to their strategic importance, making regions far from such locations inherently safer. Geographic features also play a significant role in enhancing a location's safety. Natural barriers like mountains and valleys can offer some protection from the immediate effects of a nuclear blast and the subsequent radioactive fallout. The climate and sustainability of an area are equally important. Regions with a temperate climate, access to fresh water, and fertile soil provide better opportunities for long-term survival. Additionally, the existing infrastructure of a location is crucial. Access to clean water, food supplies, and medical resources can make the difference between life and death in the aftermath of a nuclear attack. While remote areas may be safer from the direct impacts, they can also present challenges in terms of isolation and resource scarcity. Therefore, balancing these factors, distance, geography, climate, and infrastructure, helps identify the most viable locations for surviving a nuclear war in the United States. The Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains stand out as one of the safest places in the U.S. to survive a nuclear war, thanks to their rugged terrain and relative isolation. Spanning several states, including Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, the Rockies offer a natural fortress against the potential devastation of a nuclear conflict. The region's high elevation provides an additional layer of protection from the effects of nuclear fallout, as radioactive particles are less likely to settle at higher altitudes. Furthermore, the vast and sparsely populated areas within the Rockies reduce the likelihood of being near any primary targets, such as military bases or major cities. The Rockies are also advantageous in terms of sustainability. The region is rich in natural resources, including fresh water from mountain streams and rivers, and fertile land suitable for agriculture in the lower valleys. These resources are crucial for long-term survival, offering a means to grow food and sustain life in a post-apocalyptic world. The dense forests provide not only a source of fuel, but also shelter and protection from the elements. Additionally, the wildlife in the Rockies, from deer to fish, offers opportunities for hunting and fishing, essential for those who may need to rely on self-sufficiency. Despite the advantages, surviving in the Rockies would still require preparation. The harsh winters and potential isolation from major population centers mean that individuals would need to be well equipped with supplies and skills to endure the challenges of this environment. However, for those who seek refuge from the worst effects of a nuclear war, the Rocky Mountains offer a remote, resource-rich, and defensible location that could significantly increase their chances of survival in such a dire scenario. The Great Plains. The Great Plains, stretching across states like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, represent another viable option for those seeking refuge from the horrors of a nuclear war. This region is characterized by its vast open spaces and low population density, which significantly reduces the likelihood of being directly impacted by a nuclear strike. The Great Plains are far removed from the major urban centers and military targets that are most at risk during a nuclear conflict, making them a safer alternative for those looking to escape the immediate devastation. The Great Plains also offer substantial advantages in terms of sustainability. The region's extensive agricultural land is among the most fertile in the world, providing ample opportunity for growing crops and raising livestock. In a post-nuclear world where supply chains are likely to be severely disrupted, the ability to produce food locally would be a critical factor for survival. Additionally, the relatively mild climate of the Great Plains, with its warm summers and cold winters, is conducive to farming and living off the land. Water resources, while more sparse than in the Rocky Mountains, are still available through rivers, lakes, and groundwater, essential for both drinking and irrigation. However, life on the Great Plains would not be without its challenges. The open landscape, while beneficial in avoiding fallout, also means there is little natural shelter from the elements or protection from potential intruders. The region's harsh winters could also pose a significant challenge for those unprepared to handle the extreme cold. Despite these challenges, the Great Plains offer a practical and sustainable option for those seeking safety during a nuclear conflict, providing the space, resources, and relative security necessary to endure the aftermath of such a catastrophic event. The Appalachian Mountains. The Appalachian Mountains, stretching from Alabama to New York, offer another promising refuge for those looking to survive a nuclear war. This region is known for its rugged terrain, dense forests, and remote locations, which can provide a natural shield against the immediate and long-term effects of a nuclear attack. The Appalachian Range is particularly attractive because it is situated away from major urban centers and military targets, reducing the risk of being in the path of a direct strike or severe fallout. The Appalachians are rich in natural resources, making them an ideal location for long-term survival. The area is abundant in fresh water, with numerous rivers, streams, and springs flowing through the mountains. This availability of water is critical not only for drinking, but also for irrigation, should agriculture become necessary. The region's forests are filled with diverse wildlife, providing opportunities for hunting, fishing, and gathering, which are essential for self-sufficiency. Moreover, the fertile valleys nestled between the mountain ridges are well suited for small-scale farming, offering a reliable source of food in a world where external supplies may no longer be available. One of the significant advantages of the Appalachian Mountains is their history of self-reliant communities. The people in this region have long been accustomed to living off the land, with a strong tradition of farming, hunting, and resourcefulness. This cultural knowledge could prove invaluable in the event of a nuclear war, as it provides a foundation for survival that many other regions lack. However, the isolation that makes the Appalachians so appealing could also be a challenge, as access to modern amenities and medical care may be limited. Despite these potential difficulties, the Appalachian Mountains offer a secluded, resource-rich, and defensible environment that is well suited for those seeking safety and self-sufficiency in the face of a nuclear threat. Considerations for choosing your safe haven. When selecting a location to survive a nuclear war, personal and family needs must be carefully considered. While the remoteness and natural defenses of places like the Rocky Mountains, the Great Plains, and the Appalachian Mountains offer significant safety advantages, other factors come into play that may influence the decision. Accessibility is a crucial concern. Reaching these locations quickly in the event of an emergency could be the difference between life and death. It's essential to consider how easily you can relocate to your chosen safe haven, particularly if you live in a densely populated or high-risk area. Another critical consideration is the balance between isolation and community. While being far from major population centers reduces the risk of nuclear impact, complete isolation can bring its own set of challenges. Having a supportive community nearby can provide a sense of security, shared resources, and the opportunity to collaborate on survival strategies. On the other hand, Too much proximity to others might lead to conflicts over resources or increase the risk of exposure to fallout if people flee from affected areas. The availability of resources is another vital factor. Even in the safest locations, survival hinges on access to food, water, and medical supplies. Preparing in advance by stockpiling essentials and ensuring a reliable water source is crucial. It's also important to assess the potential challenges of each location, such as harsh weather conditions, wildlife threats, or limited infrastructure. For instance, while the Rocky Mountains offer natural protection, their severe winters require significant preparation to withstand the cold and maintain access to resources. Ultimately, choosing a safe haven involves weighing the benefits of remoteness and natural defenses against the practicalities of accessibility, community support, and resource availability. These considerations will help determine the best location for you and your loved ones to weather the aftermath of a nuclear conflict. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think there are other places better suited to survive? Let us know in the comments section below.